Okay, guys, welcome to week 4. We've got a very interesting week this in store this week. We got this wonderful presentation, typographic message. Be sure to read that. This week is all about taking a look at presentation and how we can look at our immediate surroundings and present words and meaning through typography in using our immediate surroundings, our environment, to create the letter forms, as opposed to creating letter forms by hand or even digitally creating letter forms or using pre-made fonts. So this is a good example right here because this is taking something from our environment, taking the word Coke and really using it to emphasize the word okay. All right, this is an interesting little story. This is from a 1987 Swiss Air poster when Swiss Air merged, well, didn't merge, but decided to use Coca-Cola in their branding based on a decision to start flying into Atlanta, which is the home base of Coca-Cola. So the resulting typographic solution is using the environment of the Coca-Cola can to create a ad that says, Swiss Air flying to Atlanta. Okay. All right, so you see how you're taking this is taking some attributes from the surrounding area as opposed to creating something. So using something that's already there to create your typographic message as opposed to creating it yourself. Okay, I want to talk about the assignment this week because you guys are going to love this assignment. This is a great assignment. And a couple of weeks ago in one of our discussion boards, many students expressed their interest and their appreciation for Stefan Sagmeister and his approach to experimental typography. And in the Neville Brody is no different. As a matter of fact, Neville Brody is he actually preceded Sagmeister. So he started what Sagmeister basically continued, is one way to look at it. But one thing I want to talk about is this assignment right here, because I think you guys are going to love this assignment. This is a blast. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to create compositions by either subtracting from our environment, adding to our environment, or distorting our environment. All right, and I'm going to give you this class example, and I'm going to give you another personal example of how you can do the three, okay? Now, the class example uses these gardening materials as kind of their concept. So everything here has to do with gardening or outdoor gardens in one way or another. To subtract a word from the environment, you're going to mow a word into the lawn, okay? And then to add, you would grab a bunch of flowers or a bunch of grass clippings and create a word, maybe on the sidewalk or on the driveway, all right? And then to distort, you're going to take the garden hose, which again is associated with the whole concept, and you're going to bend that into a word. You're going to distort the garden hose to create a word out of it. Okay, another example would be this. We'll use, instead of using the garden concept here, I'm going to use shaving and hair. All right, so the first, to subtract from the environment, I'm going to shave a word into my beard or shave a word into my hair. And again, this is, just example. But so I would shave a word into the side of my head. Excuse me. That would be subtracting from the environment. Adding to the environment, I would take the hair that I just shaved out the side of my head and I'd sprinkle it on like a barber's robe and create a word right there, okay? And then finally, to distort type, I would use shaving cream and I would create a word by using shaving cream to come up with some sort of typographic word. Okay, so those are two examples of how you approach this assignment. It's really, really interesting. Think about it for a day or two before you start executing because you want the concept to tie in to tie in with itself. In other words, the both concepts I gave, one has to do with gardening, one has to do with grooming. So try to keep your concept consistent in all three of your words. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to choose a subject. In my example, I chose shaving. Okay, you're going to explore your message opportunities. That means I could, I sat here and I thought about how I could express words using shaving as my concept. So I could shave a word into the side of my head. I could use the hair clippings to create a word. And I can also create a word using the shaving cream. Okay, so I would write a sentence alluding to that, exactly what I just said. This is my concept, letting the viewer know exactly what my thoughts are. Then I would make my three words. I would shave the word into the side of my head. Now, this is where it gets creative. You get to choose your words. Okay, so I would get really creative with a word. I'd shave it into the side of my head. I'd take a picture of it. Then I would collect those hairs that fell out the side of my head where I shaved the word, and I would create another word using those hair clippings. Okay? And I would take a photograph of that. And then finally, I would take the shaving cream and I would create a third word. The words can tell a narrative. The words can be related, or they can be completely separate, representing three completely different ideas. Okay, so the choice is yours, and be creative here and have fun with this. This is just a blast. This assignment's a blast. I promise you, at the end of next week, we're going to be looking at each other's work going, oh, wow, that is really super creative. That's what we're shooting here for, guys. We're shooting for really, really pushing the apex of creativity here. So really push this thing. That's why I said think about it for a day or two before you get started. I really don't expect anybody to shave words in the side of their head, although I think that in the light of Sagmeister, I think that would certainly be pretty cool. So remember, guys, Sagmeister is the one that carved type into his own body. So, yeah, pushing the realm of experimental typography to its boundaries, as it were. Okay, so that is my description of the assignment. That's how we're going to do this assignment. And again, guys, just really have fun with this one. Make it interesting, make it creative. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be glad to clarify. Thanks, everyone.